Welcome to the Newark Regional Business Partnerships Engage and Exchange podcast. Join us for business insights and meaningful conversations with NRBP's member organizations. Thank you to our podcast host sponsor, the Martin Tuchman School of Management at NJIT. Additional support for NRBP's Engage and Exchange podcast is provided by PSEG, New Jersey Urban News, Main Street Advisory, LLC. Hello, I'm Ferlanda Fox Nixon, President and CEO of the Newark Regional Business Partnership. We are the premier chamber of commerce for the greater Newark region. Our guest today is Kima Walker-Willis, founder and chief learning officer of Flying Gym Consulting. Welcome.
Hello, Kima. Thank you for joining us today. Absolutely. We like to begin by learning a little bit about you, so tell us about yourself.
Sure. Well, I was always a curious child, and that curiosity blossomed as I got older. I was always asking those why questions. Why are BDA what they're doing? And it turned into a fascination of behavior and people. So through education, tools, all of these things, and 20 plus years of learning and development, I started when I was 3. I expanded that and came up with some formulas and methodologies to bridge the why with motivation and gamification, and then the heart of Flying Gym, which Flying Gym Consulting came from all of that curiosity.
Okay, so tell us about your business. What's the business model, your clientele, all of that good stuff?
Absolutely. So Flying Gym Consulting is a learning and development consultancy, and we specialize in gamification. And what that means is pretty much making learning fun. We do lots of simulations, we do lots of games, and we bring the experience in for people to learn, do, and then achieve.
What's the age range?
So it's all corporate businesses, some nonprofit as well. And we're talking all adults. So this is not children's.
Okay. Would you ever think about doing something for children or?
Absolutely, yes. And as a matter of fact, I do tutoring during the summer. So that's a love of mine. And some of our trainers do that as well.
So give me an example of a potential client.
Absolutely. I work with lots of HR groups or human resource groups. However, I work with ERGs or employee resource groups as well. I work with C-level individuals as well, depending on what the challenges of the business. So let's say an HR team came to me and needed help with creating a strategy, right? So I would find out what the challenge is. What am I solving for? And we would build from there. Each training is custom made for that particular organization.
Okay. And so is team building a part of that?
Absolutely. All right. I mean, that's probably the first love of mine. You have lots of fun with team building. But yes, so we do team building, strategy development, emotional intelligence, all of the softer skills. We also do top learning skills. Right now, AI is very popular, but how does that fit into your strategy, and how do you talk about the return on investment from it and things like that?
And so what are some success stories like that I did in this?
Well, one that I'm definitely proud of is that we have a 90% retention rate. So in other words, our clients come back for more and more, and not necessarily because we didn't solve the problem, it's because we have other problems to solve. So I'm definitely very proud of that. The other thing is, as far as retention, a lot of times when you go to training, you don't remember what happened after that. So with our methodology, you're able to retain that information. So you're definitely going to get impact with behavior change right away. How do you assess that? Good question. So, many different ways. It depends, of course, on the challenge, but I'll take a last challenge that we had. Um, I was dealing with an HR group from a school, and they had you name it. They had conflict management issues. They had not a seat at the table. So they needed to make sure that they had an HR strategy as well as um, the influence that they needed. With all of those things, they are running the actual business now. So HR leads the conversation.
Okay.
Yes.
That's very good. That's very good. And what do you love about your job?
Every single thing. It's creative. It taps into the creative brain. It definitely taps into my curiosity. That inner child is still there within me. And we create these wonderful simulations that allow people to, I don't want to say fail, but they can mess up if they need to. Safe space. It's a very safe space. And you get to know so many different people. I mean, it's the dream job. It really is, yeah.
Do you have a staff or do you work with independent contractors or is it just you?
So all of the above, right? So yes, I have a wonderful team of 5 individuals, and then I contract trainers, but the trainers have to be certified in our methodology. Yes, and there's probably about 6, I think, that I work with on a regular basis.
So do you do the certification or is there another organization that they get the certification?
I do the certification.
That's awesome.
Yes, because it is our methodology.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. And what NRBP?
Oh my goodness. I live very close to the Newark area. That's one of the things, and I work with some of the Newark locations. So to make sure that I am really entrenched in the community, it's a wonderful support group. You really get to meet. Again, I'm a people person. You really get to meet quite a few people. You know what's happening in your community. And I love to support. So this is definitely the place for me. And I thank all of the people that I've met so far. It's been wonderful.
So, Kima, how can people find you?
Yes, you can find me on all the social media outlets. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I do quite a bit of outlet on LinkedIn. So definitely go there. And also my website, blind-gym.com. And I have a white paper coming out. I also have events that happen. So definitely come and see what's new for Blind Gym.
It's awesome. Now, you talked earlier about your curiosity as a child. Can you talk about your educational journey and your career path to get you to where you are now?
Sure. So I was born in Florida, and I actually went to 8 different grammar schools.
Oh, wow.
So always being the new girl, that's one of the things too that led to my curiosity. I had to make sure that I adapted quite quickly to my new environments. My father had a traveling job, so I grew up all along the East Coast, mostly in New York, actually. And so, yeah, so that is me. When I graduated from high school, I actually graduated in Florida. I spent my last senior year in Florida, and then I went to first Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Then I went to Columbia. And then I got my master's at American Intercontinental University, and that is in education and sociology.
Okay, very good. Yes. So you traveled a lot.
Quite a bit. Yes, I traveled domestically and globally and still love the travel for sure.
And then as far as getting back to the community, what are some things that you do to get back to the community?
Yes. So one of the things that I love in our social spaces, especially particularly in corporate America, you don't find many people that look like me. And so one of the things that I found, it's because of lack of exposure and experience. So I want to make sure that I give the exposure and experience to those that might not ever have it. Um, One of the things that we're proud of is we bring groups that are sponsored from different businesses into corporate spaces. They learn the leadership skills that we're teaching. Sometimes they even train, right? And they would be able to go through our program to get certified as well as trainers. We've had about 3 cohorts so far. Um, Not only does this bring the talent pipeline into the organization, but it does bring the leadership skills and the exposure and experience to our young professionals.
So how large are those cohorts?
They're pretty small. They're between 6 and 10 people. However, we could sponsor more depending on, the company.
So as a business owner, I'm sure you faced a lot of challenges.
Yes, absolutely.
You want to talk about any of them?
Sure. Well, my number one challenge is introducing gamification. Like, what is gamification?
Okay.
And so when you hear gamification, you might think of video games. That's what the thing is right now, especially with the kids, and some adults even. However, it's a little bit more than that, right? So when you are having fun, you are doing a game. However, it's not the bang bang shoot 'em up or the jump from here to there.
Have been more like puzzles?
They can be, and it depends on the challenge, but introducing this to somebody that doesn't know anything about gamification can be change is hard, right? So how would I be able to convince you that gamification is the way to go? So that's been one of my challenges. But back to what gamification is. So we call them experiences at Blind Gym. And with these experiences, you're going through real world situations and scenarios that will get you to that end result. The brain science behind it, there's definitely the good hormones moving, the dopamine, serotonin, all of those types of things happening in the brain. So you want to do more and more. So you take that and then put it into the workplace.
One question I wanted to ask you, the name of your business. How'd you come about that?
Blind Gym. Well, actually, it's honor of my mom. And she passed suddenly in 2016 with my best friend. And I'm the only child, so it definitely hit hard. The day that I was returning back to work, a hummingbird came to visit me. And hummingbirds need a lot of things to a lot of different people. You look at folklore, you look at different cultures, things like that. And some that Blind Gym, that hummingbird's name is Blind Gym.
Oh.
But the hummingbird itself, very small animal, very mighty animal, a fast animal. They are very intentional on what they do.
Thank you for joining us today. As always, I would like to leave you with a quote. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. That's attributed to Benjamin Franklin, one of the founding fathers of the United States. Thanks again for listening. Thank you for listening to NRBP's Engage in Exchange podcast. Tune in next time for more NRBP member organization insights. For more information about our organization, visit www.newarkrbp.org. Thank you again to our podcast host sponsor, the Martin Tuchman School of Management at NJIT. Additional support for NRBP's Engage in Exchange podcast is provided by PSEG, New Jersey Urban News, Main Street Advisory, LLC.